Hold up, y'all. What kind of Hollywood-level heartbreak are we witnessing here? You really expect me to believe Malcolm-Jamal Warner, America's golden boy turned dad of the year, just happened to drown while saving a freaking beach ball? A beach ball, people, not a child, not a yacht, a $2 inflatable ball. And wait for it, his daughter, who hadn't said a word for 3 days, drops like a ton of bricks at his funeral, clutching a flag and muttering, "He died saving my life," and y'all really want to convince me this isn't some next level conspiracy? Please, this ain't some set accident, this is a cover-up in broad daylight, possibly the most heart-wrenching breakdown the internet has ever seen. And guess what? We've got the receipts. From secret surveillance footage to hidden family skeletons to a funeral hijacked by a mystery woman with a kid that looks all too familiar. This isn't just grief, folks. This is truth sinking to the bottom. Buckle up because we're diving into a story so wild, it'll have you second-guessing every headline, every hero's moment you've ever trusted. Let's break it down. Let's start at the top. Malcolm-Jamal Warner, aka Theo from The Cosby Show. The charming, witty teen heartthrob who became the face of Black American television history is now at the center of one of the most bizarre and emotionally draining farewells the internet has ever witnessed. Seriously, this man was supposed to age gracefully, maybe drop a smooth jazz album, mentor some rising stars, and live out his days sipping green juice in the serene hills of California, not be zipped up in a body bag on a Costa Rican beach while his daughter is caught on camera, screaming, "Tell me this isn't real." And now, that video has 14 million views in just 48 hours. But wait, let's hit rewind because the timeline of events? Suspect as hell. And yes, we're throwing up some serious air quotes here. Malcolm was on vacation in Costa Rica with his daughter and a close family friend. Pause. That phrase alone, major red flag. When was the last time close family friend didn't lead to some kind of scandal? Anyway, they're all out on the beach. It's early morning, the waves are calm, the sun is just rising, beautiful, peaceful, suspiciously cinematic. And then, out of nowhere, Malcolm dives into the water to grab a drifting beach ball. His daughter sighed and yells at him not to go too far, but he just waves her off, smiling like it's a casual Tuesday. Chill, superhero mode activated. Then, just like that, gone. No splash, no struggle, no sound. The family friend starts to panic. Sidon starts screaming, and by the time lifeguards arrive, his body washes up 300 feet away lifeless. No bruises, no head injury, no signs of drowning, just gone. Now, let's hit pause because there's a question that no one else is asking. How does a healthy 54-year-old man, a guy who practiced yoga, drank celery juice, and could still do push-ups better than your ex, suddenly drown on a calm beach? And here's where it gets even crazier because insiders are whispering that Malcolm wasn't even supposed to be in Costa Rica that weekend. Sources close to the Warner family say the trip was last minute. He told his assistant on Thursday, "Plans changed. I need to be off-grid for a while." Off-grid for what, Malcolm? Tax season? Or was somebody or something chasing you? Let's not forget, this isn't Malcolm's first run-in with mysterious disappearances. Back in 2014, fans noticed he suddenly went completely silent for nearly 6 months. No interviews, no press, no sightings. Then, when he finally resurfaced, he brushed it off with the classic celebrity line, "I was finding myself." Right, sure. Just like how Ellen DeGeneres was finding herself during that workplace investigation. Got it. But this time, he didn't come back. This time, his daughter was the one left behind. And what she did at the funeral, oh, it sent the internet into a full-blown conspiracy meltdown. We're talking black veil, trembling hands, and a handwritten letter that she refused to read aloud. She didn't read it, no, she just placed it on his chest and whispered, "You are the only one who knew." The only one who knew. And now, the internet wants to know. But hold up, let's not get ahead of ourselves, because this rabbit hole, oh, it's deep, filled with shady beach friends, financial discrepancies, and even whispers of a rumored second daughter that no one wants to touch. Yep, buckle up, because this video, oh baby, this is where things start to fall apart real fast. Cue dramatic thunder sound effect. Zoom in on my suspicious squint. But here's where the timeline gets murkier than a Hollywood tax record. Because just when the public thought they knew everything about what went down in Costa Rica, bam, an alleged audio recording hits the internet like wildfire. According to an anonymous Redditor, who claims to have connections with resort security, the audio was captured on a walkie-talkie frequency. You can barely make out the words through the static. But what's crystal clear? A man allegedly Malcolm yelling, "I don't feel right. Something's not right." Moments later, silence. No splashes, no cries, just eerie silence. And then, just like that, the tape cuts off. Now, let's hit pause right there. How does someone who doesn't feel right just vanish without a trace? And where's the hotel emergency protocol? No paramedics rushing to the scene. No resort staff locking down the premises. You mean to tell me this all went down quietly on a peaceful morning while his daughter was still sipping coffee? Chilly. Make it make sense. If you think the internet let this slide, think again. One TikTok user, going by at Justice Fortheo, went on a 3-part rampage, breaking down everything from his travel itinerary to the supposed guest list of that vacation. According to her, Malcolm Warner had originally planned to travel to the Bahamas, not Costa Rica. But guess what? He suddenly changed destinations at the last minute. Why? And more importantly, who convinced him? Even stranger, his longtime friend and former castmate didn't even show up to the funeral. That's right. Despite all the flowery statements and heartfelt tributes from Hollywood's elite, the actual attendance at Malcolm's farewell was shockingly small. A source close to the family claims the guest list was tight, controlled, and definitely not what you'd expect for someone of his stature. And get this? No cameras were allowed. The only footage we have is the leaked clip of his daughter sobbing, collapsing, screaming, "I can't do this," as the casket was lowered into the ground. And y'all, if that clip doesn't haunt you, nothing will. She was gripping the casket like she wanted to crawl inside it. That's not just grief. That's trauma. That's "I know something ain't right, and y'all won't tell me" type of energy. But wait, here comes the real tea. Rumors are swirling that Malcolm's daughter wasn't even told about her father's death right away. An insider claims she found out through social media before the family ever contacted her. You read that right. Imagine opening Instagram and seeing rip posts about your dad before anyone has the decency to tell you he's gone. How does that even happen? Was someone trying to cover something up? Delay the truth? Control the narrative? And speaking of controlling the narrative, let's talk about Warner's estate. Because when someone dies under these suspicious circumstances, you just know the vultures circle faster than TMZ on a scandal. Multiple fake GoFundMe pages popped up within hours of the announcement, some even claiming to be for his daughter's emotional recovery, others claiming to help with funeral costs. And guess what? None of them were verified. Even weirder, Malcolm's legal team hasn't said a word about his will, assets, or any estate transfers, and this dude was worth millions. TV royalties, book deals, music projects, real estate investments, you name it. So, why the silence? According to a very shady LinkedIn financial analyst, who posted a now deleted breakdown, Warner's accounts were allegedly being frozen pending an internal review due to suspicious offshore wire transfers made just 2 days before his death. 2 days? Ain't that a little too convenient? Now, add to that the theory floating around that Warner may have been planning to go public about a major Hollywood cover-up involving other sitcom stars from the 80s. That's right, rumor mill is buzzing that Malcolm was working on a memoir, and the final chapter was set to expose the dark truths behind the scenes of Hollywood. And now, he's gone. Too much of a coincidence? Because here's where things go from sad to downright sinister. Allegedly, someone tried to access his iCloud account just hours after his passing. His daughter, according to leaked texts, was locked out of everything. His phone gone, laptop wiped, personal journals mysteriously missing from the hotel room safe. Let that sink in. We're talking about a grown man with a respected career who suddenly dies on a relaxing vacation, and then poof, his personal belongings vanish into thin air. You don't need a PAAHDAIDDDDHEHE and conspiracy theories to see something's not right. And now, fans are connecting the dots faster than the FBI. Twitter's pointing out that Warner's final Instagram post before leaving the country was a black and white quote image that read, "If anything happens to me, it wasn't an accident." Read that again. If anything happens to me, it wasn't an accident. You think that was just a random quote? You think he was just being poetic? Nah, baby. That's a breadcrumb. That's a warning. That's a man who knew something and feared what might come next. And then, boom, he's found unresponsive in shallow waters with no signs of struggle, no witnesses, no explanation, just a tragic accident. Y'all believe that? Because I don't. But let's keep it moving, because if you thought the daughter's public breakdown was the end of the heartbreak, buckle up, because in this video, we're diving deep into the political backlash, the legal nightmare, and the one whistleblower who says this wasn't a death. It was a silencing. But just when you thought it couldn't get more disturbing, buckle up, because sources close to the Warner family are now dropping bombshells that make this entire farewell feel even heavier. Remember how everyone was shocked by the daughter collapsing at the service? Well, insiders are saying that wasn't just raw grief. It was anger boiling over. Word on the street is, Malcolm had been estranged from some members of his family in the final years of his life, including his daughter. Yep. Apparently, this emotional breakdown wasn't just about loss. It was guilt, unresolved conflict, and a tidal wave of what-ifs. And now, the internet's picking sides. One camp says she should have made peace before it was too late. The other is defending her pain, calling out those who judge without knowing the full story. And then, there are the whispers about a mystery letter, a handwritten note Malcolm reportedly left behind that he didn't want read aloud. Why? What could he possibly say in private that couldn't be shared at his own funeral? One source claimed the letter spoke directly to his daughter, addressing mistakes, regrets, and things left unsaid. Another said it warned the family about who to trust next. A few even claimed it hinted at foul play. Yep. You heard that right, maybe his death wasn't just some accident in the ocean. And let's not forget the biggest elephant in the room, Malcolm's assets. With no public will and a reportedly messy legal situation, the vultures are already circling. Distant relatives suddenly popping up, ex-friends posting tributes while sliding in with their own agendas, all trying to get a piece of the pie. It's like a twisted game of Monopoly, and everyone's scrambling for their share of the Malcolm legacy. Into lawyer DMs, and even a few spiritual advisors claiming Malcolm wanted them to guide the family forward. Girl, be for real. And social media? It's a full-on circus. Hashtags like #justice for Malcolm, #truth behind the tears, and #who killed Theo are trending, with TikTok sleuths dissecting every blurry beach photo and funeral clip frame by frame. Some even claim you can see someone whispering something just before the casket was lowered, like they knew something the rest of us don't. It's madness. But hey, we're just getting started. Into Malcolm's daughter's ear, seconds before she collapsed. Coincidence? Or was she told something that rocked her to the core? And if you thought that was the end, nope. We've got alleged leaked footage from the service showing a man in the back row being escorted out after mouthing off at one of the family members. According to one witness, he yelled, "This ain't over," before storming out. Excuse me, who is this not over for? But here's where it goes full Lifetime movie meets Black Mirror. Someone is claiming to be Malcolm-Jamal Warner's secret daughter. Yep, this woman pops up on a late night live stream saying she has DNA proof, birth certificates, and a voicemail from Malcolm where he calls her his light in the dark. Cue the drama. Collective gasp. Now, the Warner estate has to deal with this chaos on top of everything else. And baby, the lawyers are working overtime. TMZ is sniffing around. Family members are going dark. And the daughter who collapsed, she's gone completely off-grid. No posts, no stories, no interviews, just silence. And when someone goes that quiet after something that loud, you know something's boiling behind the scenes. And while fans are grieving, celebrating his legacy, and reliving the glory days of Theo Huxtable, this family's being ripped apart by secrets, scandal, and suspicion. So now, the million-dollar question, was Malcolm-Jamal Warner's tragic death really a freak accident? Or was it the final chapter in a story filled with betrayal, heartbreak, and unfinished business? Because whatever really happened out there, on those waters in Costa Rica, we may never know. But we do know this: silence speaks volumes. And sometimes the loudest breakdowns happen when the truth finally catches up. And there you have it. The man we once knew as Theo Huxtable, America's golden boy, now at the center of one of the most bizarre, emotionally explosive stories we've ever seen. A daughter's public breakdown, a funeral that felt more like a press conference, a legacy that now teeters between beloved sitcom memories and jaw-dropping mystery. But the real question is, what aren't they telling us? Are we really supposed to believe this was all just a tragic accident during a family vacation? Or is there something much darker swirling beneath the surface? Something scrubbed clean before we could even blink? How did Malcolm go from a beach chair to a casket with no real explanation? Why did his daughter seem more haunted than heartbroken? And what about those VIP guests who dipped out the second the cameras stopped rolling? What did they know? We're watching a legacy unfold or unravel right in front of us. So, here's what I need you to do. If this story shocked you, confused you, or had you yelling, "Nah, something ain't right," then don't just scroll away. Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear your theory. Was this just a sad goodbye or a Hollywood cover-up in plain sight? Smash that like button if you felt even a shred of goosebumps. Subscribe for more of these wild breakdowns and hit that bell because trust me, this rabbit hole, we're not even close to the bottom. Stay sharp, stay suspicious, and stay tuned.